Well, today's Sunday, and yesterday on Saturday I went into the big city, Denver, Colorado, a couple hours away, and I went to the Tri-State Swap Meet. They have it once a year, and I go every year. It's always awesome. I bring some cash, and I buy as many small block Chevy parts as I can, preferably the cheaper variety. So here's my haul from this year. We'll start left to right. Those blue heads you see there, there's a set of 461 double hump 194 150s. They were cast at the end of 1964, so they would have been on a 65 model 327. And they're actually rebuilt, but they sat around for a while. They got a little surface rust on them, so I got to clean them up. There was a couple reasons I bought them. One, they've got screw-in studs and guide plates already installed, and just the cost of that's quite a bit. And then I noticed too the valve guides have been replaced, so they should work out nice. Worst case, I might have to have them milled again because of the surface rust, but it may just come off with WD-40. I don't know how severe it is yet, so pick those up. I believe $250. Which may seem high, but they've had a bunch of machine work done, and I thought that was a really good deal. So next in line there, I've got a Rochester 2-jet 2-barrel carburetor. I'm collecting a few for a future multiple carb intake setup, so I got one more for the pile. And then in front of it there, I've got a 1972 Quadrajet. I'm guessing off of a Chevy truck. That's just a good carb to have around, as I like to build Quadrajets. So next in line is an old Mallory Unilite electronic ignition for a small block Chevy. I haven't looked into it yet. I bought it for 10 bucks. Actually, that's what I paid for the Quadrajet too, 10 bucks, and I paid 5 for that 2-barrel. So we'll see if it works. We'll see if I can even get parts for it. I don't know the status of that, but it was so cheap I went ahead and bought it. I got a couple carb spacers. I paid $4 or $5 a piece for them. I got a normal open 1-inch for a square bore, and I got a thinner phenolic spacer for a spread bore. So I love buying carb spacers. It's nice to have an assortment for whatever you're working on. The intake there is an old Weiand, and it's a model I didn't own previously, so it's in pretty good shape. My only complaint is the center holes on each side by the exhaust crossover. Someone has hogged them out to run them apparently on, like TBI heads, later model small block heads, but they'll be fine on a Gen 1 small block. I'll just put washers under the bolts and you'll never know. Otherwise, it's in good shape. And it's a vintage piece. I don't know what year it's from, probably from the 70s or 80s. I love that era of intakes, and again, it's one I didn't already own. So, and then on the far right, oh yeah, I paid 40 bucks for that intake, so that was a pretty good deal. On the far right is a 327 small journal steel crank, and it's the first thing I bought yesterday. I walked in. We went over to the back wall, started looking over there, and it said $20 on it. So I asked the guy, I was like, so what's the deal with the crank, and how much is it? Because I thought that was not correct. He goes, yeah, it's 20 bucks. I'm just tired of hauling it around. So I promptly paid the man, and supposedly it's standard. I haven't measured it yet, but I'll have it checked out and machined at some point as a spare. I don't really need it, but for that price, 327 stuff's just hard to come by, and not readily available in the aftermarket, at least not cheaply. You can buy a steel 327 crank, but you're looking at, $8,000, sorry, $800, $900, or $1,000. So for 20 bucks, I'll take a chance on it. So that'd be like a 62 to 67 327 crank, and so anyway, I can't say I particularly needed any of these things, but I'm always looking for a deal on vintage small block parts, particularly 327 stuff. you know, 350 stuff you can just get all day. And I like the old double hump heads. Now I've got a spare set. I'll probably make another video on these later, but I installed some 291s on this 327 I'm working on. I've still got a spare set of 291s. Now I've got a set of 461s. My 492s are on my truck. So anyway, it's nice to have a couple of spare sets. I'll get them cleaned up and they'll be ready to go for the next build at some point. So anyway, thank you all for watching, and now I've got some more work to do.